Plenty of people think that this is the guy who should have been raising that MVP trophy after the game. Cliff Avril, Seahawks defensive end, joins us now. Cliff, congratulations on the win. How are you?
I'm great. I'm awesome. Thanks.
Can't be doing much better than you are right now.
That's true, man. It's true. It's a wonderful feeling to be number one in the world. That's crazy, but it's awesome.
Walk us through the last 36 hours or so, at least what you remember of the last 36 hours.
Just winning the game, and then that night going out with the family and partying it up a little bit, and my teammates, and just enjoyed the whole thing. Again, we're Super Bowl champs, so you definitely have to embrace and enjoy it. And then I've been trying to catch up on sleep ever since.
While everyone was settling in for the game, that first snap from scrimmage by the Broncos, it whizzed by Peyton Manning's head. No, Sean Moreno recovers it in the end zone. You downed him. It's a safety. What was going on from your perspective before that snap went?
Well, for one, I was just happy that, the defense was out there first. We try to set the tone, every time we go out there. And, we seen the miscue, and I kind of seen the ball get snapped, but Peyton moved out the way because I guess he was trying to audible or whatnot. And I was hoping Noshawn couldn't get to it quick enough so I could get the touchdown, but he fell on it, so I fell on top of him, and it was just a good start to a game.
There's been talk that it was loud and that contributed to the confusion. How loud was it before that first snap?
It was pretty loud. 12-man travels pretty well. It definitely felt like a home game as far as for how loud it was, and we definitely appreciate it on defense.
Talking to Seahawks defensive end Cliff Avril, world champion Seattle Seahawks, and some say you should have been the MVP. Should you have been the MVP of the game?
I'm just glad that I was able to, make some impactful plays. I didn't get it. It is what it is. I'm happy for Malcolm. He scored a touchdown. The stats show that, he should have got it, and it is what it is. I'm happy for him, though.
He gets the trophy and he gets a car. Have you talked to him about maybe you get the car on weekends or you get it for a month?
I haven't seen him. He's been doing a world tour since he's won. He went to Disney, took a private jet out to Disney, which would have been dope. But he's been doing commercials left and right. We haven't seen him, but I'll definitely give him some crap when I do see him.
He had that 69-yard interception return for a touchdown, but it was sparked by a hit that you applied to Peyton Manning. You and I talked a couple weeks ago when you faced Manning in 2008 when you were a rookie with the Lions. You hit him, but not before he got rid of the ball. How different was it this time that you were able to get to him while he still had the ball in his hands?
Well, things were a little different, I guess, in a sense. Everything's timing with Peyton Manning, and our DBs did a good job of, giving us a split second longer to get to him, and I was fortunate enough to get to him a few times, throughout the game, and I was able to cause, turnovers. So it's pretty cool. It was, a little more experience this go around as well. So I think all that played a factor into it.
What sound did he make when you hit him?
I couldn't hear him. It was, like I said, it was loud, like it was a home game almost. So once I thought I got the sack fumble, honestly, and then he had enough on it to get it past the line of scrimmage, and Malcolm picked it off, kind of turned around, seeing Malcolm running with it, and actually started blocking him a little bit to make sure he wasn't going to make the tackle.
Wait. You had a free shot at Peyton Manning, and you just blocked him a little bit?
Yeah. Quarterbacks don't want to make tackles. Let's be honest. Quarterbacks don't want to tackle anybody. So I didn't want to mess up the touchdown once I seen Malcolm broke loose. So there was no point of taking a dirty shot at Peyton.
Talking to Cliff Avril, Seahawks defensive end, and there's been some discussion from your teammate Richard Sherman that there was a cracking of the code with Peyton Manning, that the hand gestures had been figured out, audibles had been figured out. Is that accurate, that you guys knew what Peyton was doing at the line of scrimmage?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't pay any attention to any of that. The D-line was taught all week not to even pay attention, not to listen to anything, because you start trying to listen and do too much. You can't. You won't be able to play as fast as you want to. So, but the DBs had extra week to try to figure things out. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did figure it out.
So what was your signal to go? You were watching for the movement of the ball every play and just not listening to Peyton Manning at all?
Yeah, because we've seen in games where he's got guys that jump off sides 4 or 5 times in one game. we've seen games where, you know, it was quick counts. So it was like, you know, you don't want to play the mind game. Just watch the ball and go and you know, we'll go from there. As far as for the snap count, we just didn't want to cause any penalties by jumping offside.
At what point on the sidelines did the sense begin to develop that you guys were going to win this game?
I would say going into the fourth quarter, where, you know, we were up 30-some-odd points. We were like, okay, it's difficult for somebody to put up 30 points in one game, in one quarter, should I say. So it started setting in like, okay, you know, as a pass rusher, you're like, well, now I know it's for sure pass, you know. So it was definitely, you know, hunting time or whatever. But I would say going to the fourth quarter was where it was like, okay, we have a chance to take this home.
You know, it shouldn't be a surprise to you to hear that the Seahawks already are the favorites to win the Super Bowl in 2014. Should the Seahawks be the team right now picked to win it again?
Man, so many things play a factor into next season. We're just enjoying it right now. But, you know, the business part of it, you know, won't allow us to keep everybody probably. So it'll be a different team. But you know, I definitely would like to be a part of it for sure. But, you know, I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm just going to enjoy the next few months, and we'll go from there.
Well, at some point, you get to launch the new season with a home game, and you know the home schedule. The 49ers are on it. Who would you like to see roll into Seattle to start the season?
Anybody. We feel like we can play with anybody. Obviously, everybody probably likes San Fran just for the rivalry part of it. But, you know, we'll be prepared for anybody at that time when the time comes. So, we're up for anybody. You know, we're not scared of anybody. We're not scared to play anybody. So it'll be fun wherever it is.
We heard a lot of talk last week about how the Seahawks play the first-team offense against the first-team defense in practice. That means you're facing Russell Wilson a lot. Have you ever maybe gotten in a hit on him that you weren't supposed to in practice?
Oh, no, I won't. I like my job. I want to keep my job, but no, we're pretty much, you know, we got some veteran guys up front, so we're pretty smart as far as for, you know, our approach on rushing Russell. We definitely don't want to touch him. He's one of our key guys. You know, you don't want to mess that up.
There's been some talk, Cliff, about getting rid of extra points in the NFL. What's your view on the possibility of the extra point becoming an automatic extra point, and then you can risk 1 point if you decide to go for the 8th point?
I mean, everything is about scoring, obviously, with these fantasy leagues and all these different things. So, I mean, I would like football to stay the way it is, but, you know, they're always trying to find ways to make it more, I guess, more for the fans or whatnot. So it'd be, I don't know how I would like it. I mean, I've been playing the same way for, you know, forever. So I kind of like keep it the same. But, you know, once again, these fantasy games and all these different things, it'd be good for those things. So it is what it is if they change it.
Well, and if there were fantasy games for the Super Bowl, you got 2 points because you got credited for the safety. Did you get your hands on that football?
You said, did I get my hands on
that football? Do you have it? Did you get to keep it?
No, I didn't. You know, when Sean got back up with it, I didn't even think to grab it because, you know, I was just in a celebrating mood, celebrating with the fans and whatnot. I didn't even think to grab it.
What do you keep from game day as the souvenir? Do you keep your full uniform, helmet, shoes? What do you keep?
I'm going to try to keep everything. I'm taking everything back home and putting it in a frame and putting it in my game room. So I'm going to try to keep everything, go get my helmet signed by all the players. And, you know, it's something to be remembered for life. You know, I'm officially affiliated with Seattle for the rest of my life, so it's cool.
Well, Dan Patrick has a very impressive man cave here in Connecticut with all sorts of memorabilia. So is there maybe something, maybe a sock or some other piece of equipment you could sign and send to us to put on display?
Most definitely. I can send y'all. We'll figure something out, and I can definitely send y'all something.
All right, there we go. Well, at least a sock, maybe something else. We'll work on that. So, what are you going to do tomorrow? The parade, you're back in Seattle. You're going to go to the parade and probably a huge turnout expected for that?
Yeah, most definitely. We're back in Seattle. We got back last night on the longest flight ever back to Seattle. But we're back, and I'm excited about the parade. My son wasn't able to go to the game because we thought it was going to be freezing. But he'll be at the parade with me, so he'll enjoy that whole thing. And you know, I can't wait. It's going to be fun.
How long did it take you to get home?
Well, we were stuck on the runway for about a good 2.5 hours because of the snow. Then we took off. Then the pilot timed out, so we had to land and get a different pilot, then get back on the plane or whatever. So it was, I would say it probably took about a good 10 hours.
Where'd you guys have to land?
I I don't remember what city we were in.
I heard it was Minnesota, which would cause some Packers fans to say there's finally a Lombardi Trophy in Minnesota. But there's definitely a Lombardi Trophy in Seattle. It's been a long time coming for a franchise that entered the league way back in 1976. We appreciate you taking some time. Congratulations, Cliff. All the best this offseason. We'll be talking to you down the road.
Oh, man, I appreciate y'all having me. Thanks.
All right, there he is, Cliff Avril, Seattle Seahawks. Peter King voted for Cliff to be the MVP, and it would have been a stat line unlike any other. 3 tackles, 0 assists, 0 interceptions, 0 sacks, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumble recoveries, but a safety and the hit that was applied to Peyton Manning that popped the ball into the air and resulted in Malcolm Smith catching, can of corn. If you drop that one, that's the all-time. Here it is. All I can do is drop it. Fell into his arms, ran it in for a touchdown. That was the moment that Fritzy knew his Broncos were done.